Be sure to subscribe for your chance to win a custom leather playmat when we hit 2,500 subscribers. Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games Discord, playing live over the internet. We've got Fared all the way from Germany here in the finals versus Bo. I'm not actually sure where Bo is from. He has started playing with us recently, and really awesome to see the community growing. Appreciate all of the support. And, if this is something you want to participate in, have some fun every Wednesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you might find yourself here on the stream or on camera. It's not actually streamed anymore. We were streaming to Twitch for a while, but the numbers really weren't fantastic, and the video quality not as good when you're streaming. So this Sorcerous Spyglass, enabled by a Blast Zone. Kind of a really slow start here for Eldrazi Post. Death and Taxes, a deck that is often underestimated. There's an Aether Vial out there ticking up, so it'll continue to tick up. Vesuva copying Thespian Stage. So options are open here. Thespian Stage can be converted into a Cloud Post later on. We've got a Aether Vial actually popping in a Thalia. I'm surprised. Yeah, I can't quite make out what the Sorcerous Spyglass is naming. I would have assumed it was Aether Vial. That is not the case. We have a Thalia taxing the mana. Now a Apparition coming and taking out the Sorcerous Spyglass. With no real downside for now, and I'm not even sure if Fared's going to be able to remove this Apparition very easily. The downside happens when it dies. Fared would get a 2/2, seeing as how it took out Sorcerous Spyglass. Blast Zone could eventually get around to taking this thing out. But Wasteland actually preventing that. And this is getting a little ugly. We've got a Thought-Knot Seer, which sees a couple of Stoneforge Mystics along with the Flicker Wisp. And he's big, but not that big. I mean, even Thalia with a Sword of Fire and Ice is going to trump him. Oh. All right, feed dropped for a second there. Well, we've got ourselves a game here. This is not exactly a blowout. I think Bo very clearly in the lead at this point. Apparition. It's going to leave and then come back. Thanks to Flicker Wisp, and Thought-Knot Seer is going to go away. And get another card for Bo. I do suspect that Apparition's the real deal for Death and Taxes. Much less setup required than the old Mangara, which was a staple of the deck for a very long time. 5 damage a turn, going to be able to come in with no fear. Oh, and Stoneforge Mystic piling on. Thalia can attack into this 2/2. And of course, Flicker Wisp does have wings. But Death and Taxes does enjoy handling permanents. It's all about the board state. And in the past, you had Mangara to be able to be used with Karakas or Flicker Wisp, really whatever it is you wanted to use to get Mangara out of there before his ability resolved to exile permanents. Because when his ability resolved, it would exile him and the permanent that you had targeted. But, requires a lot less setup here. And this Sword of Fire and Ice coming down. And man, is it a fast clock. It's going to be 5 damage. Going to use the shock on the 2/2. Still drawing a card. But at this point... Is that like Ramos or something? Or just a Basalt Monolith? Might be a Basalt Monolith. We'll see how this actually plays out. It looks like the Commander version of Basalt Monolith. A Mother of Runes and another Stoneforge Mystic. It's really kind of cementing things. Would need something along the lines of an All Is Dust, which is not going to be castable there anyways. So Death and Taxes picking up that first game. Very important for them. Now, this is the final round of our Wednesday Night Legacy, I believe. So Bo being up a game, going to put some pressure on Fred to find a way to win within the remaining time. Though I think the way this prize is set up, I think Fared's actually undefeated at this point. Bo may have already picked up a loss, so he's playing for his life and prizes. We pay out to X1 or better. So if we have, say, 10 people in the tournament, or in the case of Wednesday, let's say 30. So we have 30 people. That's going to be a $300 prize pool. And if there's anyone going 3-1 gets a prize share. Anyone going undefeated gets 2 prize shares. And then if you go X01, then you get 1.5 prize shares. So let's say that there's 10 prize shares total. You just take the total entry fees divided by 10, so it would be $30 per prize share. So going 3-1 would get you 30. Going undefeated would get you 60. We do rounding up of change to the undefeated players. So, because otherwise it can be like, $25.63 or something. We're not gonna go there. It's a little bit too much complexity for the bookkeeping. So we do find a nice round number. And Bo here is going to be on the draw. Ancient Tomb into Sphere of Resistance is a strong start versus pretty much every deck in the game. And Death and Tax is not going to have anything to say about it here. He's got a basic Plains. Sphere of Resistance followed up by Wasteland is very often a borderline concession. But Death and Taxes does have a bunch of basics, so the mana base is going to be pretty resilient. We've got a Chalice at 1. Rashad and Port at least giving Bo a way to slow things down a little bit on Fared's side. The Sphere of Resistance not going to hurt him nearly as much. And at this point, 2 drops are available for Bo. And a Thalia, going to make this a little bit spiteful. Try and slow down. Don't know that that's going to work out. I would have liked to have seen a Stoneforge Mystic there. A Runaway Batterskull feels like it might have a chance to steal a game here. Now we've got a Thought-Knot Seer. Swords to Plowshares ×2. Aether Vial. Mother of Runes. How do you like your 1-mana spells? How about just lumped up in your hand against a Chalice? Sanctum Prelate. Possible way of slowing things down. Though it's probably not at its best versus Eldrazi Post. Stopping additional spheres is certainly welcome. But they do have a pretty varied mana cost throughout their deck. It spells at 4, at 6, potentially 7, potentially the larger Eldrazi. I mean, you're not going to completely shut down a deck like Eldrazi Post with a Sanctum Prelate or, certainly not Chalice. They just have too many mana costs. They can pretty much play whatever they want. I mean, they could literally be casting Emrakul. They have so much. We've got a Karn now. Grabbing a Mycosynth Lattice. I'm grabbing a Liquid Metal Coating, sorry. Unable to play it this turn. The Apparition takes out Karn. So we have a little bit of a game here. Liquid Metal Coating doesn't really do very much on its own. Wow, Ugin. Ugin is actually enough. Bo fighting valiantly there in game 2, but Ugin comes down, and that is going to do it. He's going to have to try here in game 3. As that is just too much. Ugin, just a murder machine, bolting everything. That was the big Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, not the Ineffable. So that's actually just going to start KOing any type of creatures on the board. And Bo's going to consult his sideboard, and we'll see what he comes up with for game 3. All right, jumping in here with a Maze Mind Tome. 4 for red. Bo, turn 1. I think that might just be a basic Plains. And a Thalia. Sphere of Resistance was very difficult to contend with on the other side. Thalia not going to be as much of a hindrance as Thought-Knot Seer's not even affected by it. And anyway, right now, Flicker Wisp taken out. And Maze Mind Tome. It's a pretty fun Magic card. Rashad Port going after the Ancient Tomb, slowing things down. Both of these decks can do some pretty similar things, but they really depart as the game continues on. As far as making spells cost more, attacking the mana base, having some creatures going after your life total, but man, does this Eldrazi post have the ability to go way over the top with incredibly powerful planeswalkers. We've got a Thespian Stage. I'm not sure if he actually has access to Dark Depths. That would be probably a pretty low cost option. I don't know what matchups it would be preferable in, but you even have the ability to tutor it up with things like Golos. But the deck may not even need a 2020, to be honest. I've run it in Titan-based Cloud Boast decks on occasion. If you're running a full set of crop rotations, there are some matchups where that's useful. And we are just ramping big time here. Vesuvas, Thespian Stages. Thespian Stage, a really fun Magic card. I really like activating it in response to a Wasteland to target a basic. That's a interaction that sometimes people find out the hard way exactly how that's going to work. If you become a basic land, that actually makes Wasteland have an invalid target, just countering the ability on resolution. Maze Mind Tome continues doing work here. And now another Thought-Knot Seer sees a Jite, which could have been of use. I suspect that'll be the thing to go. Mother of Runes, I believe, one of those other cards. Oh no, a Flicker Wisp, actually. Interesting. I mean, Jite's formidable. Could actually allow for this situation to stabilize. Stoneforge Mystic. I didn't see the Batterskull, but I got to imagine that's what it's going to be. Mazemind Tome, with its last contribution to the cause, goes to the graveyard. A lot of damage was done there. Those extra cards being put to good use as that mana base continues to expand with more and more potential. Cloud Posts can just get so out of line. Now, a chump block happens here on a Thought-Knot Seer down to just 4. And is that a Torpor Orb? Looks like a Torpor Orb. That would actually stop the Batterskull. Another Thalia. I would have expected the Jite to be cast. Oh, and Ugin shows up again. Ugin shows up to end another game for Eldrazi Posts. It's a really powerful Planeswalker, and it's just wild to see him cast in Legacy, especially to such devastating effect, as he shows up and just ends the game yet again. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.